Alright, here we go. Here for the incredible sharpshooting? Perfect. I've got lots of that to bring. Brian, Canuck, how are you guys? Some ominous music for this moment where we just finished this battle. You know, last stream, right at the end, we were trying to figure out what was going on with Algernon's dialogue. As soon as I loaded the save back up to test something, worked fine. Didn't change anything. No idea. Good old... we call these save reload bugs, where just changing, like just saving and then reloading your save changes the way things behave. No idea why it happens. Happens in all the Bethesda games. Yorkshire DB, hello. Omni, hello. Babylonia, howdy. J, hey, hey. Oh, we got a call for the crabs.
Maximum crabs!
Phil, Raven, Omni, hello, and thank you for the crabs. Please don't give me crabs. Hey, Raven. Far Marine, how's it going? The mod you're making will be on Xbox. Please, we can't get no PC with these prices. I mean, yeah, all the things we're making, we're trying to put on Xbox for sure. So we should get the Algernon conversation right away.
Hello, Captain. Thank you
At
for
this
all your
point,
help.
I think we're
It's
past formality.
appreciated.
Call me Algernon. I'm pleased you showed mercy when attacking the plaza. Were roles reversed, I'm unsure West would have done the same. As a group, the gunners are over. But Aiden was right when he warned you. There'll still be soldiers out there, so don't let your guard down.
What will you do now?
I intend to travel the Commonwealth, track down any remnants of the gunners I can find. I'll offer them a chance to join me and start a new group, one based on the old ideals of the gunners. I doubt many will accept, but I feel it's worth the effort.
I like this idea of the gunners having a better, like a nicer backstory, like more honorable, because that would make more sense that they grew to be so powerful, right? If they were just bullies, like eventually somebody would have stood up to them. And I guess that's kind of what was happening with the well, I guess the Quincy, how did the Quincy massacre go down? So the Quincy massacre, was it a case of the one or the other was invading? I don't know the exact backstory of the Quincy massacre, of how did the Minutemen end up fighting the gunners? Was it, I believe it was like an accident or something. I know there's like a bunch of holotapes and notes and stuff that kind of tell the backstory. There's no actual quest for it though. And then I think Preston has some information about it. Any of you guys know? Anyone have a synopsis for me? But anyway, I do like the idea of the gunners having a more honorable backstory that makes them less than just a-hole mercenaries throwing their weight around.
You said there were gunners out there?
There are gunner squads stationed all over the Commonwealth and beyond. With West gone and the plaza fallen, many will simply disband. However, others may choose to reform into splinter factions, continue on under new leadership.
It's been an honor.
Back when I led the gunners, they were a very different group. But in less than a decade, they devolved into what you know today. So, I hope you don't misunderstand my meaning when I say, if we'd have met 10 years ago, I would have been honored to have you join the gunners.
I guess this is goodbye.
For now. There are things I need to attend to, but I'm sure we'll meet again.
Hello. Thank you for all your help. It's appreciated.
No, thank you, Simon. I think Aiden has a conversation too now.
Hey there.
It's you. We can expect some peace and quiet for a while, but don't go thinking this is the last we've heard from the gunners.
What happens now?
I don't know. We've just created a power vacuum in the Commonwealth. There was no avoiding it. We did what had to be done. But now I'm left wondering, what comes next?
How long do you think the peace will last?
Could be months, could be days. Depends how quickly the gunners can regroup and organize. But the main threat has been dealt with. The Commonwealth is no longer at risk of subjugation. At least, from the gunners.
I just wanted to check in, make sure things were all right between us.
We both got what we wanted from this arrangement, so yeah, I'd say we're good. And I'd be hoping to us working together again sometime. Maybe.
We'll talk later.
Yeah, sure.
Man of many words. Thanks, Aiden. Appreciate you.
Hello.
I think we talked to Teresa
Hello.
last time. What about
Thank you for all your help.
already?
It's
That was really
appreciated.
something.
Hey!
I hope everything will be okay now. No more settlement attacks or anything.
Oh yeah, we talked to her already. Okay.
See you later, kid.
I think we talked
Okay,
to
see
everybody
ya.
else, but just Aiden's and
I just
Algernon's
can't
wouldn't
say
work
this
last time.
enough, but I'm sure glad you came along to help us out.
Thanks, Jared. You're very shiny, buddy. Okay, so there we go. So that stuff just started working. No idea why, but there it is. They're defending Quincy, and the Gunners invaded. The Minutemen were already semi-crippled at that point, so the Gunners came. It was game over. Gunners with a former Minutemen attacked the town. Oh, that's right. There was a traitor, right? Most men didn't respond to the collapse of subway monorails and easy access. Yeah, that's right. We have a quest about that too. I think that No Man's Land, spoiler alert, his quest is he thinks he was the traitor, and that he was. I think he thought he was drunk and wasn't sure if maybe it was his fault that Quincy happened. Look at all this loot. Hey, somebody might want to. Yeah. Okay, so I want to see out here. Did we? We did. Okay, so I wanted to see if we disabled the dummies, because I think when we first released we didn't. And so you could come out here and the dummies would be here, even though the story said that they blew up from the mini nuke explosion. So it looks like I fixed that already, which is good. But I do want to make those buildable. I want to make a mini nuke. Thanks, buddy. I do want to make those buildable as like a fun little unlock. Ooh, nice head there. Get this guy? Yeah. Okay, let's see what's next on our agenda. I'm not going to do the making a buildable right now, but we will do that next time I'm in the CK. Let's get some playtime in first. All right, let's go take care of these defend quests. That should be the last of the gunner attacks for a while, and then we'll go work on the Nightingales while we wait for Jake and company to call us back. A little quiet compared to all the NPCs. I can turn up my volume a little bit here. I think I lowered my volume a bit. And we will turn. Let's check the in-game volume here. Settings, audio. There. How's that? Well, actually, we'll do a few. We'll fire off a few rounds. Out of this thing. These are way too valuable. Where's my test gun? Here it is. Is that better, or did I overdo it on the volume? Sim Settlements 2 Chapter 4. When? Yeah, many people ask that. No plans on that anytime soon. We have a lot of post-launch content we want to get to, but it's just not the focus right now. So there's we have the writing done for the next like chunk of content, or mostly done. I still have some polish to do, but we have not fully dove into it yet. So that's why I am focusing on doing these streams where we try and kick the tires and fix everything up while we're not in the main production cycle. It's like perfect time for me to just messing with existing stuff, so that I'm not, because I don't have a lot else on my plate in regards to my Sim Settlements time. Sounds good. Okay, cool. Nate-Bit8, hello. We are at the, like, I don't know, probably 2/3 of the way through Chapter 2 now. We're about to get into the HQ stuff. We just finished taking GNN. So there's not really a Chapter 4 planned. We just have a bunch of stuff that we still want to add to the mod that we never got to do, story-wise. So, for example, Algernon was meant to have a follow-up story after Chapter 2 for people who kept him alive. The major characters like Aiden, Teresa, Lupe, Mansfield were all supposed to have like a companion quest of sorts, like a character quest to get to know them a little better. Oh, excuse me. And What was the other content we had? There's another character that's supposed to be at HQ that was never introduced. Actually two. I don't know if we'll get to them. One of them is written though. That's the one I think you guys. That's the next piece of content I think you guys will get from Sim Settlements 2. Is there's another character that was meant to move into HQ at some point, and that had to be cut. We've got all sorts of dialogue written for him. He's even integrated into the final Chapter 3 stuff. Like, we've already got all of the stuff in place. Okay, let's go ahead to Hangman's Alley, I guess. We'll go to Backstreet Apparel and walk our way over. Which Black Lagoon character would join the Gunners or make their own mini-crew? I don't know what you mean by a Black Lagoon character. Something you whooshed me. I don't know what that is. Yeah, are you playing on Xbox, Nate? I know that we get that talk a lot with HQ. I got to come up with what I think we have to do is come up with like an ultra light build of HQ for Xbox players who run into that problem, to be able to click on, to be like where it just doesn't build a lot of visual things. You just get the bonuses. I actually have that pseudo support in that for the code, because the long-term plan for HQ was to open it up so that people could manually build in there. Here we go. We're getting the drop off. There are some technical hurdles to that to allow you guys to manually build in there, but there we go. Get that Psycho Jet going. Oh no, reload. No, that stim pack nonsense. Oh, there's 2 legendary gunners right here. Oh man, and the shotgun shells are out. Okay, hold on a second. We gotta get those legendaries before I forget. Switchblade. Nobody wants that. Whoops, did I just kill a settler? Good old knockdown. Oh, hello. Hey guys. Love it. This gun is so stupid. Oh, there's somebody up there still. And oops. Hip shot. That'll work. Well, that was easy. I gotta remember to find. I gotta keep getting gamma rounds when we go to town. In fact, we're right next door. We should head over to Diamond City here. We'll sell off these terrible legendaries and stock up on shotgun shells and gamma. Grumpy old fart seems Isabel Cruz has been left hanging. Isabel Cruz is the mechanist, right? So we actually have content written for her. I hear something. But we did not put it in there because we would need to revoice her character, and just like we hadn't committed to that idea yet. Because if we do a bad job of casting, we will make people angry who like the character. So it was one of those ones that's been left not resolved. But we thought that if you side with the mechanist, we thought that would be a cool ally to have in Chapter 3.
Time to earn my pay.
Oops. Okay, let's get to town here. Carbon Marine, what would you have done if SS1 failed back then? What would you be doing now? That's a good question. I don't know. Like, I always, before the Fallout 4 mods took off, I would kind of dip in and out of games. So I'd mod them for a while, and then I'd go find something else to do. And so that's probably what would have happened. I probably would have grown tired of modding because there's definitely a large, portion of this is I do it because a lot of people enjoy playing it. Like if I didn't have people caring about this stuff, I would eventually lose interest myself. I like the communal aspect of modding. So without that, but it's been so long now since that. By now I would have found another game to mod. Let me think about what games have been out. Like, I bet I would have gotten sucked into, because doesn't The Witcher have modding tools now? That probably would have sucked me in. Loved The Witcher 3. It was so good. Alright, let's go buy some. Oh, no. Oh, good. We caught him before he went to bed. I thought it was
Got
nighttime.
some great stuff, if you're interested.
Sure. Let's take a look.
Self-defense at its best.
Okay, we need some 50 cal. We need some gamma. Ooh, 25 rounds, nice. And some shotgun shells. Okay, we need a better source of money. I think it's time we need to get into the municipals so I can get some taxes going. Because we are, you know what, I think I was saving 45 rounds to do, what's a cricket's gun? I just never got around to it. I can sell some of these flares. I'm not going to use all these. I can sell a lot of these cores. I mean, I was hoping to do power armor at some point, so I guess I'll keep some of them. Okay, there we go. 415, much better. Of course, once we hit up Myrna here.
You again. All right, got plenty of supplies.
I've got a few minutes to browse.
Everything you need.
50 cal. Gamma round. Shotgun shell. Okay. Down to 1,000. You know, part of the reason I think I'm broke is because I don't do many vanilla quests, and I think that they tend to pay more bottle caps out than our quests do. Okay, let's go to head over to Sanctuary, save them, and then we'll be all cleaned up of gunner nonsense. So I'm talking, did you ever have a mod you worked hard on, loved, that didn't take off? Yes. So the during Conqueror, for those of you who are SS1 fans, we did faction packs, and there were these two streamers, Ricky Summer and Adam Kluga, and they did this role-playing Let's Play series of Sim Settlements, and they would like riff on each other, and they were like two RL friends, and they just were having a lot of fun with it, and I just got a kick out of it. And so they had made this little RP thing for their characters, and I turned them into factions so that it was like cybernetic troops versus robots, and turned it into, and we had a little story, a little very short story, like each of the characters had a little part, and I had the two guys record the character voices for them and everything, and I mean I bet 200 people downloaded it. Like, it was definitely the least, because it's very niche, because it was just like their audiences wanted to play it, like their audiences who also liked Conqueror, so it was just this double layer of niche. That's the only word I can think to describe it, because Conqueror was not nearly as popular as SS1 Core or SS2, and then to have an add-on pack for that was based around a couple of smaller streamers was very for a very specific audience, myself included. But I had so much fun making it. It was really fun to work, and I loved talking to those guys. It was fun to see how much fun they had with the mods and making their whole little web series about them. Like, I think Ricky Summer did like 5 seasons using Sim Settlements, which was just fun to see. I like that we inspired somebody to make so much. All right, let's drop a quick save here. Any plans for compatibility with mods such as America Rising 2? So America Rising 2, Adelino, the creator, is a friend of ours on the team, and he absolutely is planning on doing that. I think he said he's going to work on it later this year, and we said we'd help him, so we're definitely expecting that one. As far as other mods beyond that, I mean, I have said I'm going to do a patch for Fallout London just to help our stuff. You know, like, we can't necessarily make our stuff work in London, but we can at least stop our characters that have Commonwealth quests from showing up in London to make it a little more compatible. I think we already have it set so Jake won't show up there, but I think some of the random settlers you can recruit will still show up there, even if that doesn't make any sense. So that's something I'll do a patch for at some point. I've been waiting for them to get back to me. They were doing... Oh, that's awesome looking. Guns and grenades. Nice. So somebody from the Fallout London team had contacted me to say they were having some trouble with their settlements and they wondered if I could help them, and then they were going to get back to me last year. Never heard from them, but I think it's because they shifted course and now they're doing like a expansion pack for it. I think, you know, with GOG, you can't just... this is all just hearsay. I don't know if this is actually true. This is what I've been told. Who the heck is this? Bodhi? What? Also, where are the gunners? So anyway, somebody has told me that with GOG, when you release mods on there, you can't just update them willy-nilly like we can with Nexus or Bethesda, where we can just post new updates all the time and hotfix things. Is that it's more of a process.
What's going on?
So I believe rather than constantly patching, they opted for, all right, let's just do a big content update. We'll finish all the stuff we started and do it that way. So I maybe, hopefully they found somebody, since they haven't contacted me again, hopefully they found somebody else to fix any of the settlement issues they were having. So then probably after that patch comes out, and if they either let me know what's up or, you know, they don't need help anymore, then I'll probably pop over and do the patch.
Here we go.
But beyond that, a lot of the integration, like patches to make factions work together, require people to do some stuff for their voice actors. So we've built out a system for people to integrate more factions into the questline. And I wrote up tutorials on it, and they're available, so anybody can do it. I once talked to Monkey Spunk about doing it with Ben's Sheriff Department, and he said maybe, and then didn't hear from him again. So I don't know if maybe he looked at it and it was like, oh, that's too much work, or maybe he didn't want to have to go back to all those actors again. I know he was really he felt like he pushed himself to his limit to pull off Fence Sheriff Department. It was a big project for him. So I don't know how much he's doing anymore. He says, I haven't talked to him in a while. But other than that, I mean, I don't know what other stuff, if there's other stuff that needs compatibility. We do have some stuff on our list as incompatible, but it's more like, if you go read it, we have details about it. There's very few things that are just straight up incompatible because of something we're doing. It's usually like there's something they're changing that's fundamental that there's nothing we can do about. But if you go on our, if you go to wiki.simsettlements2.com, we try to put explanations whenever we list something as incompatible, because we, out of the box, we try and not edit anything vanilla so that we're just compatible with everybody else's stuff automatically. All right, I think there were more red dots, which means they may have been teleported. No, they're there. They're there. For you guys. Oh, where are they? Cody's a settler optional mayor from Wasteland Ventures. Cool. Yeah, it's so fun to see, like, over the years, all the people who started out as authors for add-on packs have, like, learned so much more about modding. So, like, people like Tunivia and Maracne and Pra and Foxel, like, the stuff they're doing now is, like, super awesome. It's super cool to see that they've dug in so deep to this. Not that all of them, some of them had started even before SS2 add-on authors, but that's how I learned about them from their add-on packs. Some of them I think did. I think Tunivia and Maracne did start with Sim Settlements 1 add-on packs. Oh, hold on, I think I missed a bunch of chat because I was trying not to waste all the ammo. Kanaka's a little sad. Faction mods didn't do better. Yeah, that was kind of my fault. Just the design of Conqueror. The faction packs put a lot of onus on the shoulders of the faction pack designers, which is part of what drove the design of SS2 or of Chapter 3's system where it's much more modular. So now people aren't on the hook for doing all these mechanics. They can just do a part of them. Like, oh, they can just do uniforms, or just do soldier names, or just do new, what do you call them, special units. So it's much more, you can commit a lot less to add stuff to it. And then I think that's also not continued in SS2 because I haven't finished all of the tutorials. I think I did. I'm pretty sure I did some of the tutorials. Actually, let me check that. It's been a minute since I've written tutorials. Let's see, wiki. There's definitely a lot of stuff on the SS2 wiki that's like coming soon, and it has said coming soon for years now. Because I go through fits and starts of like, I'm gonna work on tutorials for this month. All right, creating add-ons, topic series. Yeah, like magazine printer has said coming soon forever. Let's see here. Did I ever do that? I know I have the soldier stuff. I have a lot of it written because I had to write it for our team to do it, but I don't know if I ever released all that publicly. Yeah, units and loadouts. Okay, I did units and loadouts at least, which is a lot of it. But there's some other stuff people can do. Like there's actually the ability for people to still do faction packs like the old way, except that instead of it enforcing on players, it's like a stamp. So you'd be able to have like somebody could release a faction pack, and you could say, you know, apply all the settings from this faction pack to my faction, and then you could change things from there. So you weren't locked into whatever they did. That way, if somebody wanted to release a faction pack, maybe they didn't get, you know, when they released it, because one of the things that happened during Conqueror is the faction pack system came out right away. Like I had the documentation done shortly after launch, and so a bunch of people put out faction packs right away, and then I would add new features, and then their faction wouldn't support those features unless they came back. And there was only a couple of people who stuck around and like kept them up to date, because I was patching like a madman during Conqueror. And with this now, if somebody has an incomplete one, you'll still be able to use it and then just fill in the gaps manually, which I think will work out better. Okay, so now our settlements are all free of gunner control. And oh yeah, we were going to grab Grey Garden, but I'll do that later. Let's go talk to Fiona. So, Mass Bay, here we come. Grumpy Old Party, where Nexus founders stepping down and new management taking over. I am, yeah. It's been, there were a lot of people talking about that in the various modding discords, where I think everybody's a little nervous because anytime, you know, generally anytime like some sort of outside group comes in and purchases a company, then the company's focus tends to shift toward making back that money, right? Like we don't know what they paid Nexus or what they paid Dark One, but presumably they need to make that money back, right? So they not only need to maintain the profit to operate Nexus and, you know, whatever that level is to pay all their staff, but then they also have to recoup their investment. So there will inevitably be changes. Like Dark One's post makes it sound like there won't be, but that's always what happens when these companies buy each other, is like it'll say like, oh, nothing's going to change, our culture is going to remain the same, and then, you know, a few years down the line, when people aren't paying attention, or when the, you know, when the news cycle is ended, that's when people can make the changes. You know, it's a lot of like there's a whole lot of like 10-cent investment everywhere where you know, like I know this is one of those ones where I always chuckle a little bit when people talk about Larian as an independent studio, yet they have like massive investment from Tencent. It's like, yeah, maybe Tencent's not intervening yet, but eventually they will. They don't just give money out for free. They're looking to gain something from it. So we'll see what happens with Nexus. But you know, I think Nexus. I love them. They've done amazing things for the modding scene. They provide such a great service at a good price, even if you're paying for membership for that kind of bandwidth speed and for storing all of our stuff and distributing it for us. Oh, we got a gunner up here. Okay, so this is something. Oh, and there's Jake's private frequency. This is a bug we can probably try and fix here. Hello, sir. Let's see if he's alive or dead. But anyway, I'm cautiously optimistic about Nexus because I like what they're doing in general. And it'll be interesting to see what the new owners do with it when they change. I don't anticipate them changing anything in the short term because, you know, they're not deaf. Like they will know that there's people who are going to be suspicious about them, so they'll keep things relatively the same for probably another year or two. All right, so let's see. I want to see if he's actually secretly disabled or dead, and maybe this is just an animation bug. Get disabled? No. How about get dead? Get dead 0. Okay, he is still alive. Why isn't he attacking us then? And he's a spawned gunner from us. Interesting, but I can see that it's dynamic. So okay, so this is a for mod help thing for people who are mod authors. Do you see next to the word it says Gunner? Which, first of all, if you're a mod author or you're interested in this kind of stuff, the reason that I see the name Gunner there and all this information on the right hand side is because I have a mod called Better Console F4SE. Very, very cool. Highly recommend. Helps you find a little information. There's also more information if you hit Control. You can see a lot of information about the character. And that if the ID starts with FF, that means it was spawned by code. So, or spawned at runtime, maybe not necessarily from code, but the character wasn't just placed in the world manually. It was spawned at some point. So I have to figure out where this is. So another command I have is SV, which will tell me all of the quests that are referencing it so that I can figure out what's going on. Okay, so this one was spawned by quest 3. So my assumption here is that this was meant to be because we saved the gunners in quest 2, where we negotiated with them, that then the Nightingales hired them to help out, or this is one of the guys that works with Captain Yorks, Commander Yorks. So that is clearly what this is for. That's why it's part of that quest. So what would be nice, and I think like this isn't really a bug, this is more like a fix we should do. It would be cool if you could talk to this guy and he would say, talk to Commander Yorks or something, right? And then it would feel like a reward for you ending the quest that way, and instead it just feels like a bug. But this was clearly done here intentionally. We just, you know, it was a cool idea that just needed a little bit more to it. So that could be something we add later, but that's not the stuff I'm here to fix right now, because I'm not going to go cast and write lines and cast a new voice actor. Like, I will reach out to existing voice actors and get lines recorded if I find missing stuff, but yeah, too much right now to get into the whole casting thing. And most of the SS2 team is either kind of semi-retired from it or is working for KGC now. So until we get production going on another project, this will have to wait. I will put it on my notes though. Let me I'm gonna get a, hold on, I gotta find my Trello. So I use Trello a lot to keep track of ideas for future stuff. So this is like one of those little minor tweaks we could do that I think would have a nice impact on this. So let me find where's my SS2 board. So I guess Nightingales were chapter 2, so I would put that there. I'll put it on we have a post-launch board, I'll put it there. So let's do, I'm gonna start a new, and you guys can't see what I'm talking about, just narrating my invisible actions for you. All right, here we go. Let's see. Improvement to Nightingale's quests. Okay. Alright, just writing some notes here. So after talking down Commander Yorks, some gunners, guard, Mass Bay, we should give them some dialogue lines to remind the player they are friendlies working for the Nightingales. Okay, so that'd be a nice little environment. That would have been like, had he said that, like that would have been like, oh, that's awesome, I can't believe we put that in. Instead it's like, oh, we missed an opportunity there. So that's the type of little stuff that I would love to see more of. I think this is something in general we've talked about on our team, that spending more time thinking about the aftermath in a scenario we leave, and like thinking of like, what are some little lines we could say to talk about that. It's often one of those things that gets left by the wayside because we're just, you know, just trying to get all of the core quests actually finished. And then we try to get it out as quickly as possible, so we don't have a ton of time left after the fact to be like, all right, let's just play it ourselves for a long time and see how things feel, and then that's when we catch this little stuff, which is part of what inspired this playthrough, is a chance to take it kind of slow and steady and take notes of things like this. Okay, I'm catching up on chat. Give me just a second here. Farmer Marine, do you think the Fallout 4 Next Gen update was good or no? Since I think no, since it ruined mods, it could have been better if they made the quest free for a month of Creation Lab. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Next Gen update. I think it broke something core. It's all of the way the way the quests are injected is not very clean. It's with the Legendary Edition of or Anniversary Edition rather of Skyrim. they took the time and changed all of the quests to not just pop up immediately. Instead, they happen organically as you play. And I don't know why they didn't do that same thing to Fallout 4's Creation Club stuff. Instead, you just get pummeled. Like, or am I wrong? Is that not the case? I'm pretty sure that's what happened last time I loaded up Next Gen. Is that what happens, guys? Somebody who has it installed, is when you start a new game and you emerge from the vault, do you just get like 40 quests starting? Or did they resolve that? I know there's a mod that does it for a lot that resolves it, but fairly certain that the Anniversary Edition, you just get slammed with all of them. Ex-Gunner Guard, yeah, that's true. We could name the characters. Let me, I could put that in the notes too. Let's see. Or Nightingale Guard, something like that. So anything to show that they're not just gunners, because your first instinct is like, well, that guy should be attacking me. Okay, I think I caught up with all the ones that tagged me. If you're new around here, if you haven't tuned in a lot, just know that often I fall behind on chat because I'm just yammering on or focused on the game. And I try to cycle back through the chat and look for anything that says @King, yeah. So if you just tag me in any of your messages, I'm more likely to notice them when I'm catching up on chat. All right, let's head in and talk to Fiona. Thank you, Canuck. It's like a Plinko machine when you leave 101. Yeah, that's sad. That's sad. Because I really thought it was awesome that they took the time to spread out all the quests in Skyrim. Like, to the point where in my current Skyrim playthrough, my Sunday playthrough, I'm always like, wait, was this in the base game? And so everybody's reminding me which stuff was base and which stuff is Anniversary Edition, because it has been so many years since I did a full Skyrim playthrough that I've lost track. Which has actually been a lot of fun, because there's even the vanilla quests. I'm like, man, I haven't played this quest in 4 or 5 years. I don't remember how all this plays out. Oh. Apparently that was a crime. Messing with their radio. Alright, where do we go next? There we go. There was probably a shorter way than me zipping in and out of rooms like that. Yeah, the Model MSCC quest, and I don't think that one was ever updated after Anniversary Edition, because if it's the one by Captain Coots, he made that back when Creation Club was a thing, and as far as I know, he's been retired from modding for years, or at least retired from Fallout 4 modding. I haven't seen him on the scene in a while, and I remember I reached out to him, I don't know, about year and a half ago, because I actually happened to be near where he lived, and I was like, hey, if you're around, we should hang out. And he wasn't available at the time, but he was traveling, but yeah, he had not been back at that point. So anyway, that mod could probably use an update to support all the stuff that was added, because I believe the next gen update included a bunch of stuff that never got released during CC, if I'm not mistaken.
Hey there.
Exiting involves the quest avalanche. Fun.
I did promise to set aside a reward for you. Here. There's also a locker where we stash what we took off the bodies as well. You're free to it. Oh, and more importantly, here's some schematics for your ASAMs. I composited them from the hospital records on sanitation.
I think we had already unlocked that naturally, maybe, because we didn't get the pop-up. Or maybe the pop-up comes after the conversation. Glitch Finder's integrated add-ons does that for memory. Oh, cool. So Glitch Finder took it over. Glitch Finder's got some great stuff out there.
Thank you.
No, thank you. With your tech and initiative, every settlement can now have proper health measures. It might not see immediate return, but trust me, in the long run, it'll make a big difference for survival. That's all I had. Cersei is out right now, but I can patch you up if you need.
Anything else need doing?
Work is never done. I'm a bit busy with some of the pre-war diagnostic machines, seeing if I can get them up and running. Everyone else has been really busy getting this place set up and secure. Maybe you can check in with them, see if they need anything.
Okay, check on Raph, check on Cassandra. I think if we check on Cersei, I don't remember if it... Oh, no, it's not this quest yet. There's a point where you can check on her and she'll come work for you.
Come on. If we're going to be working as a team, we should get to know each other better.
Percussive maintenance,
me,
yeah.
personally?
Perfect.
You know, I
That's
can't
what
remember
the,
the last
Conquer
time I
5
said
believe
anything
in.
about myself that didn't relate to the Nightingales. What would you like to know?
So you explore old ruins?
You noticed I like pre-war stuff, huh? It's always been a fascination of mine. The ruins, the tech, the books. When I was a kid, there was this old man living nearby with all sorts of books and gizmos. Never said where he got it, but I saw a Brotherhood stamp on his gun once. He was, well, tight-lipped and kind of an ass, but he let me read things. One day I was reading, I think it was a travel brochure for some place called Rome, and I broke into tears.
What? Why?
I guess it just hit me that I'd never see it. The idea that one day, people could fly to beautiful places, could take tours to ancient ruins. The more I thought about it, the more unfair it felt that we lost so much. Like this hospital, there's a whole ward for diagnostics. Machines that can map out the human body, synthesizers for medication, and all this knowledge just standing here, derelict. Or worse, buried in rubble and ruins. And instead of tour guides, we need bodyguards to explore them.
Who were you before all this?
I did a bit of everything, so I don't really have a word for what I was. I sort of traveled and made myself useful where I could. Sometimes doctoring, sometimes I traded or helped with farm work, built water purifiers, taught kids. Sometimes all I did was listen to people.
So you're a doctor?
Seemed like the most direct way of helping people, and there isn't a town out here that doesn't welcome a doctor, so it's an easy way to travel. I'm not exactly a prodigy with it, but I had more wanderlust back then, so I gave it my best shot. It's how I ended up bumping into the Nightingales.
Tell me more.
I found one of my routine stops razed to the ground one day. I went to help, and Cassandra was already there, looking like she'd been at it for days. There were people with her, mostly keeping watch, but it was easy to tell she was in charge. I joined in. It wasn't until later that I noticed the patients weren't just on the defending side. She didn't care. Even shouted down one of the guards that tried to finish off one of the raiders. Some of those townsfolk had been my friends, but what she was doing struck something with me. A long talk with her later, and the rest is history.
That's all for now.
Of course. Was there anything else?
I should get going.
Okay. Go back down and talk to the others. Oops. Glad the fall damage is a little more tame than in Starfield. In Starfield, they've got it set up so where you just constantly break your legs. There's really funny on all of the test saves we have. Too Large, our lead QA, likes to use the power jetpack, or the power boost pack in Starfield, and if you just hit it once and you don't catch yourself right before you hit the ground, you break your legs every single time. They're a little too aggro with the lib damage in that game. Somebody hiding over here. Oh, nope, it is free supplies for us, that's right. Don't need that. Ooh, jet! I don't think I am responsible for that, but I may be indirectly. So someone may have been influenced by my love of jet. Who's in here?
I don't know if those straps will hold him.
Then go fetch Raphael to pin the patient down. Or ready another dose of sedative.
No! No, we can't keep sedating him. It can't be good for the patient. And we should give Raphael a break. He's already done a lot.
Oh, you think yourself more capable of wrestling with an unruly patient. I can't tell if that's arrogance or misplaced compassion.
Misplaced? After everything he's done for us? Just because he could have been hurt. All just to keep the rest of us safe.
Ellis, enough. Sulking has its place, but that place is not during a biopsy.
Oh, hello. You know, I always thought being a doctor would be the easiest thing in the world. Someone is sick, you cure them. If they're hurting, you treat it. Maybe Raphael is right, you know? Maybe Cassandra is right. Maybe even when you're trying to do the good thing, it's still... Sorry, you probably didn't walk up to me just to hear me ramble. Is there something I can do for you?
What's his story?
We picked him up nearby, I think. Definitely a raider. Raphael said something about Bosco's guy, but I don't really know what or who that is. He's been a bit... well, I hate to say it, but feral comes to mind. Mumbling nonsense, snapping teeth, fighting us at every turn. We had to strap him down and sedate him. I don't even know if he wants our help with how hard he was fighting back. Raphael was stronger, but...
You did your best.
I'm starting to wonder. What if he'd really hurt Raphael? Or killed someone? Or he's in a lot of pain and we can't help him anyway? Well, no one got hurt this time. Fiona thinks she can get one of the diagnostic machines running, but Cassandra's probably already figured it out. We have those vials you and Raphael recovered from the ship. Helped us treat the cholera Yorks and his men had. But we had a diagnosis there. It's just... a lot to take in. Sorry, I didn't mean to ramble more at you.
Oh, thanks, Ellis. Jet is just Psycho Jet for lightweights. Jet is when I don't quite need the power of Psycho Jet and I don't want to waste the good stuff. But Mod Hunter's got a good point. There's Ultra Jet, which I remember. I think I discovered that in my last character,
Someone's been in my notes
and was
again.
very shocked that no one had told me about the existence of Ultra Jet at that point. What can we craft in the Jet department? We can make some buff Jet, but I mean, why bother, right? What does Ultra Jet require? But I mean, like, Psycho Jet is so good. Like, I'm gonna make 5 more. Psycho Jet is amazing. But Ultra Jet plus what do you call it? VATS. Pretty insane. Pretty insane. You just end the world with that.
Hmm? Oh, yes. Seems poor Ellis is at war with himself. He so desperately wants to do the right thing. But the right thing is so often elusive. You make decisions as to what's right and wrong daily, don't you? Tell me, this patient here, a raider by profession, most likely responsible for many vile deeds. In your opinion, is this patient better off dead?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Ah, perhaps you're hearing that little voice in the back of your head. The one that asks, what if? What if someone else needs this medicine more? What if this raider goes on to kill an innocent family? What if, what if, what if? Ellis is struggling because he's confronted by too many options, but he's unable to embrace any of them.
What do you think?
I think Ellis is young and has a lot to learn. Violence especially seems to unnerve him. He tries to hide behind Nightingale's teachings to protect himself. But despite appearances, the Nightingales are not pacifists.
The kid's smart. Smarter than you realize.
Oh, I know. He's also more headstrong than he first appears. Given enough time, I believe he'll find what's right for him. But enough about that. I'm glad you stopped by. I've heard you have a curious little gadget called a Vitomatic. Let me see it, please.
Of course. Here you go.
Thank you. Oh, and don't worry. I would never scan you without your consent.
Like
now,
Mr. Jake.
Let's see.
Mr. Evans, sorry.
As I thought. This little device is confused by post-war mutations. I've reset its scanning parameters. That should allow it to diagnose common diseases.
Thank you. I'm sure that'll come in handy.
You're welcome.
Okay. Alright, now we need to find Raph. Oh, it's down under. Oh, there we go. I was like, wasn't supposed to be a pop-up? There it is. Did that go the wrong way? Ah, here we go. Just drop down over here.
Oh, hey. Was wondering if you'd be stopping by. Listen, I got an escort errand to run. If you're interested in coming with, won't take long.
Sure thing.
Caravan was coming by way of Diamond City. Safer route through there. If we check the street west, we'll probably run into them. And if we're lucky, there's something to shoot on the way. You take point. I'll watch your back.
Okay. Off we go. Yeah, I don't usually craft drugs, although I think if I get into like the power armor with the biomesh thing or the chemist perk, which I think I decided it's too deep down. The problem is always like I don't want to ever give up idiot savant, but maybe I should. Now that we power leveled pretty quick and I got all the things, so maybe it's time to sacrifice it and start getting intelligence. But right now I'm on a track of, actually I think I have a perk point. I'm on the track toward Pain Train, because the first part of using all the power armor stuff is getting all my power armor perks and starting to go, because shotgun plus running with power armor sounds more fun to me than stealth archer or stealth sniper, as I've been doing periodically. I wish the Bob's Runlocks were less jump scary. It's so satisfying though. But it is, yeah, sometimes when they get like oddly delayed, you don't expect them. It's like, whoa. I could ask, all right, we got a music guy now. Could ask him to come up with some new unlock sounds that have a little more gradual of a start, so they don't quite pop you in the nose. Come on, game, you got this. I know the Commonwealth is hard to load. Yeah, I mean, I really wish we could have, we had a custom interface for the unlocks, because then I could put like a queue of them where they were like all sitting in a row, rather than having you to get hit by each one as its own pop-up. Like, it'd be cool if it was like pop-up, and then like you could cycle through them like pages, like that would be, or like, you know, like you're going through images or something, or notifications, where it would all show up at once instead of boom, boom, boom. Dog meat found an enemy.
What the?
Oh, come on.
Get some.
Never know when to run.
What the hell was that?
There's nothing. It's fine. Ah, missed.
The real man. I think I know that guy. Hey, asshole!
Thanks, Ref. Let's not get too close to Swan. Although I might have already taken him out, I don't remember. Okay, I think we're getting closer now. Oh.
Do that again. Showtime. What? That's it?
Oh, there they are.
You hear that?
Oh, you're strong. Anybody else up there?
We got eyes on us.
Okay, cut the shit. Who is that?
It's nobody. It's imagination.
Just run. There you are, you
Guy with the pool
Hey,
key.
asshole! That the best you got? That leaves a mark.
Come on. How am I so bad at this?
We having fun yet?
So much fun, Raph. So much fun with my crack shots. But that's
You
why
guys
we
get
play with
dumber
this
every
guy.
year.
3 for 1. Whoa! Just knocked myself over there. Ooh, what's this? Never-ending, unlimited ammo capacity. That actually sounds awesome. And I think I should be able to swap all the stuff over on the rifle I have to this. I don't remember. Wait, what is? Does my current gun have a legendary effect already? Wait, what is this? Is this one? No, that's not what I've been using. Marksman's, yeah. So I can just straight up upgrade to never-ending. That's fantastic.
Stubborn! I'll give you that.
How do we get up there? I would have assumed it was inside this building here. Where are the stairs? Oh, is it behind here? Oh, do I have to go through an interior cell maybe?
Huh?
Whoops. Gotta be careful with this thing. This is basically an energy shotgun. Bad for indoors like spray and pray, yeah. It's alright. My guy's hardy. I should just get... Is this thing do energy damage? That's one of the perks I never take. But maybe I should start. Is the reduced energy damage. I think that's one of the perks, right? Isn't it like refractor or something like that? I always grab toughness because it's so damn good in the early game when you don't have much armor against all the raiders using pipe pistols and stuff. Come on, game. You got this. David Humphrey finally got through Art of War without bugs and playing a story wealth. That's awesome. One of the most common bugs I always hear from during that part of the quest line is the permanent Salvador companion, which I've never had happen yet. I think that's what bricked Al Chestbreach's playthrough. I think he got tired of listening to Salvador's commentary because he just would not leave him. The emergency resist perks are lame. Ah, bummer. Yeah, I guess by the time you get up that far in the tree or think to grab them, you can already have some combat armor, which has pretty high energy resist by default. Yeah, going back into the Commonwealth is always a disaster. It's so slow. I was kind of bummed when I clicked on that door for the oyster bar or whatever and ended up in a cell. I was like, oh, we get to wait for more loading. Because the interior cells load so fast, especially by comparison to this. There we go.
Shit, that leaves a mark.
You got a baseball bat? Well, I can knock your head off with a makeshift pistol. And they had double jet. Worth the trip. Worth the load screens. Some ammo to sell. That's fine. But now we're not walking back through there. I will jump off the roof before we go back through another load screen. Yeah, look at that. There's a nice spot to drop down to. Perfect. Oh, wait, do we leave nothing? Okay. All right. Back to the mission at hand. Let's go kill some super mutants. So we got some mannequins here. Trying to fake me out. There's radio. It's just Travis. It's fine. I guess I should stop using this, but it's too fun. Wait, did the...
Hi. Well, shit. Super mutants. And here I thought I'd be setting up shop next to the combat zone that would cause problems. Funny. Nightingale's found me in a wrecked caravan just like this one. I have to ask the kid if there's some fancy word for it.
Tangle with super mutants?
Nope. Not super mutants.
Oh, I guess did the super mutants
Raiders.
get taken out by whatever's
My
nearby?
gang, actually. I was one of the attackers.
What do you mean? What happened?
We got stupid. We're desperate. Can't remember anymore. Caravan had too many guns to be a safe bet. But it was the first we'd seen in weeks. Funny thing. Wouldn't have shot anyone if they'd just let us. But they fought back. Ended up a bloodbath. All of them. Half of us. And me. Afterwards, my friends took the loot and left me bleeding out in the dirt. Being honest, I wasn't expecting any different.
They sound like bad people.
What do you expect? Raiders don't do the whole doctoring and nursing thing. Still, they could have at least spared a bullet. For old time's sake.
What happened after that?
Don't really remember. Alice says I fought back when they found me. But I can't remember anything until I woke up a couple of days later. Figure they confused me for a caravan hand or something. Then I got bored of just lying around, so I stopped ignoring the kids' chatter. Turns out, they knew who I was. Fiona gave me her usual bull about second chances. Dumbest shit I ever heard, at the time. Probably still is. Was planning to walk off as soon as my legs healed. And I guess I just never got around to it. Never was one for plans, anyway. Anyway, now it's probably... Oh, shit. You hear that?
Ah, okay. I thought maybe the fight was like what we heard off the distance. Guys.
Hear that?
This is for you, super mutants. Gotta like aim at their feet with this thing. Alright. There we go. What do you got for us? Safe crackers, leather arm. That sounds awful. Let's see. Yep, that's a pretty bad legendary.
That's it? Should have figured I'd stick it out in case I brought other idiots in. It's a classic. I'll see what I can salvage from this pile and meet you back at the hospital.
Okay. Sword and helmet. Is there a sword and helmet nearby that I missed? Oh, look, the CPD's setting up over here. That's who was in a firefight. You guys got quite the canine crew.
Excuse me.
CPD officers on patrol, protecting and serving up law, order, and justice,
All's well
and
in
a
the
reasonably
information,
priced
there's a
list of
terminal over there.
fines.
Anything more than that, and you'll need to check into the HQ.
Okay. Where are we off to next? Okay, we could talk to Jake. Let's keep working on patient troubles, though, since we're in the middle of it. We'll bounce back here. Won't take the long road. Why no cola in Watchtower? Yeah, adding new creatures to Starfield is a bit problematic. We have no custom animations, but yeah, it is a shame that they didn't bring dogs. Why no dogs? No dogs in Starfield. Could have had Cosmo. Myrna sells the Wastelanders chess piece as a biochemist mod. Oh, really? You can get it right away? Oh, that's awesome. I'll have to keep that in mind next time I'm in Diamond City. I think we could add custom creatures, but like the animations, we don't have the tools for yet. No one has solved the animation pipeline. We figured out how to do some like pseudo animation where we just alter the speeds of existing animations, which is how we did the AI mech in Watchtower.
There you are. Listen, thanks for the hat today. Being around these bleeding heart pacifists all day. It's nice to get out there and put the gun to use. And about the shit I said. You know, about how I hooked up with the Nightingales. Anyway, I'm off to tell Fee what went down. See you around.
Yep, there he goes. Check on Fiona. Okay. Can't believe you never noticed there's no dogs in Starfield. Yeah, it's very sad. Very sad. Hard to believe too, right? Man's best friend, and nobody thought to like take theirs with them, and then you would have some sort of, you know, even if it was like, oh, they don't survive grav jumps or something, somebody would have found out how to make it work, right? Somebody would have been like, nah, we're making a special capsule for my dog. People love their dogs, myself included. Say it again, how you did the mechs. So we took the robot animations for like Vasco type robots and had to manually, and I say we, but this was all Imperial Sympathizer, who's our wizard with a lot of the like esoteric files that the game has. Manually made all these text files to slow down the animations and make them feel a little more solid, because the robots are very floaty in Starfield, and you know, you can still see it in the death animation. The death animation is still a little too floaty for my tastes, but that is how it's set up in the base game. So for all the robots.
Hey V, about that. You all right?
What? Oh, yes, lots to do, that's all. Did you end up going out there to meet the late Caravan, or do I even need to ask?
Super mutant ambush. I brought back what I could carry, but
I'm sure you did what you could.
Yeah, there's definitely something funky with the AI mechs we're going to look into.
Let's hope Cersei comes through on this opportunity.
Our main
of
3D
hers.
guy who handles a lot of that stuff is
what?
Currently
you planning to sleep sometime this
out of
month?
commission.
No
He'll be back in the picture
But by the
soon.
way you're swaying, I wouldn't let you so much as take my temperature right now.
I'll make you a deal. I'll sleep when you put your gun down for 2 minutes.
Your funeral.
Glad to see you're back safe. And I'm sorry to hear about the Caravan. Besides the loss of lives, this won't make a convincing case that we're worth visiting out here. In any case, is there something I can help you with?
Yeah, it seems to be the mech thing seems, for at least for us, it's in our tests, it's whenever there's more than one at a time, something seems to drop, like tank with the FPS, but only for a few seconds, and then it goes back to normal. No idea why. I'm sure there's just like some little thing we're overlooking, or you know, something funky with the collision or something, because we had to do custom collision for them to make them work. And yeah, it's definitely something on our list to investigate.
What's next for you?
There's something else that needs doing, but it requires traveling. Cersei is out on an interview, and I'd like you to back her up.
What kind of interview is this going to be?
Someone got in touch with us about donating some funds and supplies. They're pretty vague on details, but Cersei seemed to think it was a good idea. At least, she thought it was a good idea to see what the offer is, how many strings are attached, that kind of thing. I trust her to handle that part. That said, I'm usually the one negotiating, and those things can go wrong very quickly. I'd feel better if you were there to keep her safe.
No problem. I'd be glad to help.
I'll mark the meeting spot on your map. Cersei will be waiting for you just outside.
Guys,
stay safe out there.
I think it's time for the red dress. Lydia will not be able to resist me. Whoops. There goes right out. Any plans for expansion of Far Harbor or Nuka World in the future? No, there were some technical limitations to that. Believe me, everybody on the team wanted me to parent to those, but it forces you to use a version of the Fallout 4 ASM that doesn't have the data in it. So like the teams that are working on the mass conversions, like Fallout London and Cascadia and all those projects, they have to use a special version of the game, and since so much of our stuff happens in the base Commonwealth, we just can't do it. And so it's there's a technical blocker there that prevents us from being able to do it. We would need a version of the creation kit that was capable of handling stuff that it cannot handle natively. Alright, let's drop save because it's been a minute here.
Say what you want about super mutants, but at least I know I'm allowed to shoot at them. Have them.
Torrin's eyes were blinking nonstop. I've never seen that before. I have noticed, somebody pointed out to me, and I can't unsee it now, is that the lip sync tool that Bethesda made for us doesn't trigger blinking in the NPCs. So while they're talking and using the lip sync data, they will never blink the entire time, no matter how long the lines are, which is, I didn't notice at first, but then once they pointed it out, I was like, oh my god, he's right. So now you can't unsee that, sorry. But the I think that's because there's like facial capture data for all the NPCs in the base game. So that I think the eye blinks are part of the facial capture data, and since we're not using facial capture, we're using automated. I think that just didn't get baked in. I don't know if it was an oversight or it's just a limitation of how the blinking is handled in Starfield, that it wasn't supported, and this was like, I think it still looks pretty good. I think the lip sync, just using the automation and not mocap, looks pretty solid in Starfield. I felt like Bethesda's lip sync is pretty darn good. Yeah, it overrides the other facial animations because the lip sync is designed to have full facial capture data. But obviously, it would be a lot to ask mod authors to do facial capture for all of their lines. Like, that's just a ton of work. So they brought back, I think they basically took I don't know this for certain, this is just theory crafting. I believe that they took the Fallout 4 lip sync system and just adapted it to generate the types of files that Starfield reads. But Starfield is expecting full mocap facial data, so it's obviously like Fallout 4 doesn't have all of the same information, so it probably just had to map it the best they could. I do have it on my list of like, I send Bethesda reports of issues I'm having with development periodically, and that was on one of my lists I sent them, was like, hey, do you know that the lip sync data doesn't include blinking? Because I don't know if that's, again, if it's just that data doesn't exist in the Fallout 4 lip sync generation because it's separate, or if it was a mistake, like maybe whoever rigged up their lip sync is just like, oh yeah, we forgot to translate over the blinking data, because I'm sure the NPCs in Fallout 4 blink. I don't know, let's pay attention to that. Maybe they don't. Maybe I've just never noticed that until somebody pointed out. Maybe that's just a little quirk with Bethesda games that no one pointed out to me until recently. Alright, let's find out where, I think it's over here, right? Yeah, I'll speak to Cersei. North of the police station. And Money Baby, I reckon the blinking FPS thing is probably because my laptop isn't powerful enough to run Starfield. It gets by, but at a push. Ah, okay. Yeah, have you tried like the ultra low mode? They added in the last patch to Starfield, they added like an ultra low setting mode so you can play it on clunkier machines. I actually had the game running pretty well on an original Steam Deck. That's how one of my first experiences with Starfield, I think it was, I was traveling like a couple days after it came out, so I loaded it up on my Steam Deck and played it on there. I was like, oh, this runs pretty good. Ironically, that's the same thing happened with Oblivion Remastered, is when it came out, I was traveling. Bad timing on my travels. Ooh, is there just some power armor chilling here? Oh, it's a Brotherhood Knight coming to visit the CPD.
Brotherhood. Nothing. Move along, citizen.
You guys bullying these CPD folks? Oh, wait a second. I'm curious about something. Right, hold on. We're gonna save. I have no idea. Does pickpocketing, while detected, does that?
Commonwealth Police here to
if you don't take
protect and
anything,
serve.
does that make people mad? No, they don't care. I feel like you can look, just don't touch.
Hello.
Oh, the Southern Outpost Ammonia made
There's
some
a terminal over there. Anything more than that, you'll need to
made
check
some
in with
improvements.
HQ.
Awesome. I was curious if I never tried it before. Do the legendary NPCs have the legendary on their person all the time? It looked like that Brotherhood did not. Although I think if the item is equipped, they don't show it all the time. I don't know. The equipment stuff is kind of weird sometimes. But it could be they might be the legendary items get spawned on death. I could see that being the case. Makes sense. You don't want people going around and just pickpocketing. Although that would be kind of fun, right? Like that could be a fun perk. Allow you to pickpocket legendary items from NPCs. That could make a fun stealth perk. I mean, so I don't mind being the dummy face for the data. Just gotta send me the kit. What? I feel like, oh, I got you to do the motion capture data. Yeah, we don't even have those tools. They didn't even give them to us. So like, even if we had the equipment, which I don't, and it's quite expensive. Not that it wouldn't. It would be like, we would do it if Bethesda gave us the tools. Like, we would absolutely take the time and do it for our stuff. I think most mod authors wouldn't. But I know that Cobus would relish the opportunity. He is always looking for ways to, oh cool, we can swap our gun over. He is always looking for ways for us to take our stuff to the next level, so. Alright, so we need to look and see. Yeah, so we just need to take this stuff here. So, wait a second, hold on, let's see what's on the other one. Let's go back. Never ending hardened. So we definitely need to take the receiver. Alright, so we need to put a standard receiver. Okay, 50 cal, let's do a standard receiver. Alright, I kind of want to do these one at a time so that I don't waste... Okay, good. This already has a long barrel, so let's switch this to 50 cal. Has a long barrel, full stock. What does our other one have? Marksman stock. Good, so we'll give you a short stock. Switch this guy over to a full stock. Or marksman stock, rather. What is our magazine on this thing? Large quick eject. Yes, please. You can have a standard magazine. Quick eject. Alright, medium scope. No, we will take our fancy scope. Where is our muzzled sniper rifle? Standard sights. There we go. And then we don't have a muzzle on this one, but do I even want the muzzle? Muzzled hunting rifle. What does the muzzle brake do? Exceptional recoil control, better per shot, recoil, inferior range. That's probably worth it, just especially when I'm on never ending. Like that seems really good, actually. So now we've got a trash hunting rifle. And this never-ending 50 cal. So now we get out of the... Well, we can go ahead and scrap the other one. Where's it at? Hunting rifle scrap. We're also going to scrap this exterminator switchblade. I want to let me scrap it. Oh, that's right, you gotta sell those. That's right, you can't scrap those. Alright. Nice upgrade. Oop, wrong button. Favorite. There we go. Oh, but we can level up while we're in here. Okay, let me double check that there's no perk levels coming up. Like two side by side. We're gonna hit level 39. What's 39 here? Nothing for you. Okay, well we could grab Action Boy, which I'll probably just do. Yeah, I'm just gonna grab Action Boy. 75% regen. Yes, please. Yes, please. Alright, here's our squad. Oh yeah, see, we already turned some gunners into Nightingale guards. We already have this precedent for it. Although, I don't know if we have these set up as a leveled list, but they look like we got the exact same face. Let me go check that. Let's go check that. This could be a first little bug we can sort out. So let's hit console command. There it is. Click on one of these guys. Alright, so their base record type, I have the base ID down there, 2745B. Okay, give me a second here, guys. We're going to finally switch over to the dev machine. Sorry, that was really loud when I said finally. Let me shrink some stuff out of the way here, and then I will bring you guys in. It gets always eerily quiet. I wish I had a way to make it so it would play the game music still in the background. Just that little subtle music while we were in the CK, but unfortunately that is not the case. So it's going to get very quiet in a moment here. I'm trying to find this record real quick. 2745B. Actor, there he is. Okay, so let's go and switch you guys to dev machine. There we go. See, eerily quiet. All right, so here's the Cersei guard. So what we need to make sure is that it has a leveled list attached to the face. So time to learn some stuff about NPC records. Okay, so if we go to templates here, and it is possible that we do have a level list set up for the faces, but we just got a bad luck on the roll. So it is looking like it's using the traits, which should be the face data. So if we go to, or is it base data? Let's see. Let's go to traits. Pretty sure it's traits is what inherits the face. Let's see here. Yeah, it should be this. This should be the one pulling the facial data. Let's see here. Character gen parts. Yeah, so this stuff's all locked down. So this is definitely pointing to a template, which is good. Now let's see if maybe it's going to the wrong list. Or maybe it isn't set. Let's see here. All right. Yeah, I'm 90% certain it's traits that does this. I am rarely ever in charge of this kind of stuff. This is other people on the team usually do this. Maybe is it base? No, I don't think base data. I think base data is just the name and such. So L-Char Gunner, let's look at that. L-Char Gunner. So that's going to be a leveled character. We'll make sure that this, because you have this L-Char gunner face and gender. So we have all these different gunners, these ENC gunners, and these should be templated to use the face and gender link. So we can actually, if I'm wrong about which template is, we'll actually find out when we open these up. Okay, so let's go to our template screen. There's an INI setting to enable the game to run in the background. Yeah, I have that set, but I'm actually running it on 2 different computers. So this is the dev machine, and then I play on a different machine because my running the CK, like multiple copies of the CK in the game all at the same time, plus streaming is just too much. My system chokes. Okay, so let's see here. So we've got the Gunner 01 template. All right, let's look at the Gunner 01 template. This is the leveled list system in this game can be very daunting to understand. Like there are parts of it where I'm like, I'm not sure if I understand this fully, but I kind of can make it do what I want. All right, so we're gonna look at ENC Gunner, and that's going to be under actor because it goes back and forth between L-Char records and actor records. So we want to look at the Gunner 01 template. So let's see this. And then we'll go to its templates. And like some of the templates you can nest and some of them you can't. It's very, very confusing. Okay, so this one is not using any traits. So I think that is our problem. So I think this guy, yeah, see this is the face that we got in the game. You can see it's got like the black marks right there. I'm guessing we'll see that it's got the same blood type tattoo right there, and it's just changing the clothing. So we're getting the randomized clothing, we're not getting a randomized face. So we need to fix that. So we're gonna look at what are the gunners using for this. So we're gonna go to not ENC gunner. We want to look at the leveled gunner list. So we're going to go to, let's see, we'll go to actor. We're going to find the leveled gunner here. We're going to look at how they're set up and make sure that as long as we're using the same templates as them, then we're setting it up the best we can. So that's what we're going to check for. We don't use it for all of it because we don't want to use like their faction data or their AI packages because then we will inherit some of their anger. The deep seated anger. Yeah, but you can see here, level character. So they're using L-Char gunner face and gender, and we are not. So we need to change that for our traits. So if we change this to L-Char gunner face and gender, oh, I know why we're not, because we don't want to randomize the gender. We probably want these to be male. Well, let me check. Let's see if they have dialogue. Hold on, because if they don't, then we can get away with this. Actually, you know how we can check that is, are there the voice type? Yeah, it doesn't matter if they're male or female. So yeah, we can just change this, and that should solve that problem. That should make it so that we get randomized instead of the same one. So likely what happened there and why this ended up is this was probably a copy of one of the ENC gunner records. So it was probably one of these guys. And then so that is doesn't have the template set up for the face. So now the Cersei's guards should now be randomized instead of being 2 twins. So just a small little thing. Okay, let's head back to the game. All right, let's talk to Cersei here.
Oh, hey.
Oops.
I'm glad to see you. I'm a bit out of my element here.
Are you okay?
Yeah, just a bit jittery. Fiona's the talker usually. She has a way of phrasing even go to hell a way that makes people ask for directions. But it's my contact, and the whole logistics thing is also kind of my problem. I'll be happy if we just avoid bloodshed.
You do have gunners with dialogue. Yeah, but these guys, they didn't have a custom voice type, this actor record that we just changed. So we only changed the ones that are used right here in this quest. So these 2 Nightingale guards, they are not using a custom voice type, so they'll be fine with me having changed the setting I did.
That's why I'm here.
I appreciate it, really. These guys are a bit... Well, they're not local, and they do things their own way. Unpredictable. They make me nervous. It's a bit odd seeing the new Liberty Trading Company in the Commonwealth. Guess something caught their attention.
Who are these people?
Some kind of merchant coalition, I think? From south along the coast. Or was it north? The important part is they're offering to fund us. But I've been around long enough to know if something feels too good to be true, it probably is. And their pitch? Too good to ignore.
Guys, I just had an idea. Okay, so one day, if I'm ever streaming development of a King Yath Creations game, like we're making our own game, this is what we need to have support for. When people are in a dialogue conversation and they have gear that alters their chance of convincing somebody, there should be a, when you pull away from conversation, your character, like imagine I'm making my own Fallout 4, right? That your character should say, hold on a second, I gotta change. Because that's exactly what's about to happen. It's time for the red dress.
What's the big deal?
Well, the Nightingales, were on the move. We were pretty self-sufficient.
But it's such a common thing in these games, right? For people to like quickly change clothes or slam some chems or alcohol.
There's
It'd be so funny
logistics
to have
to
your character
consider.
comment on it.
We need permanent guards, scouts for ingredients, caravan connections. It all comes back to funding. Preferably the kind with no strings or interest. And that's exactly what we're being offered here. We can survive without this, but it'll be survival only. Something tells me that this trading company knows it as well.
The whole thing smells like a trap.
I'm worried about that too. Nothing about
The
this
beer
feels
hotkey?
good.
Nice.
The deal they're offering? It's not pocket caps you'd throw to a beggar, that's for sure. But you're here.
Oh, that'd be
and you're good with
hilarious.
this
Is
kind
that
of
like,
thing, right?
wait a second, did you just change clothes to talk to me? You couldn't have done that in private?
Sort of. It's complicated.
Right. Complicated. Weirdly enough, I know exactly what you mean. Well, between the two of us, how bad could it... shit, almost jinxed it. Any other questions before we go in?
But I think that's the kind of reactivity that like some of the mods, some of the companion mods get into, where they just like react to every little thing you do, so it feels very, very believable. And it takes a lot of time to do those. Mad respect for the giant companion mods.
All right, let's get started.
Yeah. If they're for real, we could start dreaming bigger with this whole hospital idea. Train new doctors, keep all the caches stocked properly. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's just get through this meeting and hope my bad luck's on break for today, yeah?
It's coming,
I sure
it's coming.
do feel better with a couple of ex-gunners for backup, though. Shows we're not pushovers.
I don't need it for Cersei, I need
One
it
more
for
thing.
Lydia.
If at any point you think it's a bad deal, just say so and we'll walk away. Fiona will understand.
Okay, now's the time. Now. While she's not looking. Okay, we'll switch to the black rimmed glasses. We need our pompadour wig. Our red dress. And let's see if we got any alcohol to top it off. Quick, find a bottle of booze on the ground. I really need to just start carrying vodka around. Okay, this is the best we got. Wait, what is our effective charisma here? Stats, special. 8. That's not bad. We should be able to pass some checks. We'll do a quick save, though, because I am not above save scumming. Let's see. Oops, oh, wrong button. Oh, yeah.
I'm from the Nightingales. Got a meeting.
We are ready to seduce. Lydia,
So far,
you don't
so
stand
good,
a chance.
I think.
Yeah, the hotkey red sequin power. This guard is like, check this dude out.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, he's trying to flirt with me.
Lydia Proudmore. I'm your contact for today's negotiations. You must be Dr. Cersei. You're late.
Late? We didn't even set a time, just a day.
Ah, that's right. I understand working clocks are somewhat rare in this region. My clerk must have tried to accommodate you. A pity he failed to mention that to me, or I wouldn't have had to wait for 3 hours in this, well, whatever it was.
Oh, sorry to keep you waiting, Miss Proudmore.
We definitely got to
Can't be
try and
helped,
get
I'm
the
sure.
romance
Let's
options
proceed.
for Lydia. Since
In
those
this
were added.
envelope are the
I've not
details of the
tested them
sums
since
the
we added them.
NLTC would like to invest in your organization. If you're agreeable to our terms, the first shipment will be forwarded to your location beginning of...
That's... Miss... This is a lot of caps. Antiseptic... copper... lenses... Wait... Did you say first shipment?
That's right. You seem surprised. Those are the estimated startup costs for an organization such as yourself, are they not?
And then some. But I mean... Last time I saw Caravan be this generous, they set up their own guys and tried to rip off the town for the losses.
A brazen tactic to be expected of the small fish that swim in this small pond. We do not operate through such petty maneuvers. I assure you, there is no clause in our prospective agreement about losses. The NLTC will assume all responsibility of security during delivery.
But...
It's a generous offer we're putting on the table, Doctor. One that I can just as easily take to many other initiatives in this territory. Your friend here has certain ventures that I'm sure could use those finances. Yours is simply one with the most promise for the investment.
That's right. My friend. I'd like to talk to them for a second. Privately.
By all means. But I require an answer before you leave this room today. I have no intention of staying here longer than I absolutely have to.
Alright, we'll go talk to
Please, take your time. I'm sure I don't have anything better to be doing than waiting. Well, hello. There's really no need for stalling. This is a legitimate contract, sanctioned and enforceable by the Home Office even out here. Although, I understand the apprehension and respect the caution.
What's your angle?
I am here as part of a delegation tasked with taking measures of
working.
prospective
She's
profits
falling
that
for
could
our
be
charm.
accrued with preemptive investments.
Oh, here we go. Let's see. Does the red dress get us there?
What would the results of this choice be? I'd like to make a well-informed decision.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
true that a hospital in these times is not a reliable source of returns. Though truth be told, this investment is rather paltry. Our interest is a bit larger in scope. This hospital is something the people here are in desperate need of, yet no one has thought to invest.
Nate, is this your first
It
time
becomes
seeing
a
the red
crucial
dress?
part of the
This is a
infrastructure of the
core part of our
region.
playthrough strategy.
People funding it will be in the best position to leverage elsewhere. You are more shrewd than you're given credit for. I will keep this in mind.
Who are you, anyway?
Lydia Proudmore.
Oh, guess I should
I'm
have
a
asked
trader
that
with the New
first.
Liberty Trading Company. That means I have the rank to offer investments like the one I handed Dr. Cersei. In case that's too confusing, I am someone with access to a lot of money, and I can give it to whomever I choose. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, the backstory to the red dress. when we were doing the Gunner Vault quest to rescue Jake, I was short on charisma to convince the commander there. And I noticed a bunch of suitcases, so I ran around trying to find suitcases looking for something with plus charisma. Found this, equipped it, and then remembered that meant I took off the gunner uniform, so all the gunners turned hostile on me. And now this has been our charisma gear ever since, and I can't imagine changing it. This is the playthrough. Also, we have the pompadour wig and the black rim glasses for a total of +4 charisma. It's beautiful. Are there any other charisma gear? Like, are there charisma gloves or anything that we could add to the ensemble?
What would the results of this choice be? I'd like to make a well-informed decision.
It's true that a hospital in these times is not a reliable source of returns. Though
Yeah, I
truth
got
be
charisma
told,
glasses,
this
charisma
investment
wig,
is rather paltry.
the very
Our
charisma
interest
dress.
is a bit larger in scope. This
Can
hospital
you get
is something
charisma armor
the people
pieces?
here
Because I
are
think
in
we got some
desperate
collecting to
need
do
of,
then.
Yet no one has thought to invest. When it becomes a crucial part of the infrastructure of the region, the people funding it will be in the best position to leverage elsewhere. You are more shrewd than you're given credit for. I will keep this in mind.
Ah, sharp. Okay.
That's all for now.
Can you wear armor over the dress? I can wear arm pieces. I don't think I can wear legs, though. But if we
I
got
don't like
sharp
it.
arm pieces...
That has to be the longest stick I've ever seen up anyone's ass. Every alarm
Thanks,
bell is
Cersei.
going off right now, but I can't figure out what her angle is.
Do you believe her?
They have a reputation for honoring written
Combat
contracts,
evening dress. Nice.
At least from what I've
we
heard.
have to add that to the voting list
If it's
next
on
year.
paper, they mean it, but... Well, this paper doesn't say anything about intentions. It does have a lot of pretty big numbers, though.
It sounds like just what we need right now.
It does. Guess I have no room to question goodwill considering what the Nightingales do. This Lydia just rubs me the wrong way. She doesn't strike me as someone who'd hand over all this stuff to some group of doctors miles away from home, no strings, no motive. So, what do you think? Should we take it?
Are there any other options?
I don't know. Do you have a pile of caps lying around that you'd be willing to give to us?
I do not. I am
No
very
strings
broke.
attached?
We're considering taxing the people.
I'll talk to her. Maybe we can work this out.
Smart. Go ahead. It'll give me some time to read the contract again.
I think we already exhausted our options.
Yes. Well, hello. There's really no need for stall.
Uh-huh.
Although...
Okay.
That's all for now.
Okay, good. We jumped the gun on that one. All right, that's good. Yeah, we can take
Hi.
the deal. We're good.
Oh, hey. So, what do you think?
We've got her eating out of
Should we
our
take it?
red-dressed palm. Take
I'm
the
in.
deal.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah, all right. If there's more to it later, we'll handle it. But this will really help us help more people. I'll go let her know.
Oops, we're blocking the path. Go. Uh-oh. Did we break the quest? No, she recovered.
Miss Proudmore, this is a really generous investment. I'm ready to sign on behalf of the Nightingales.
Wonderful. In that case, our business here is concluded. I have faith that our resources will be well spent.
That wasn't bad.
Hi.
And
Make it quick, please.
these supplies? Fiona will be over the moon. She's always wanted a proper hospital, and this is the ticket to getting it set up. Listen, before we head back, there's something I've been meaning to talk to you about. I've been a Nightingale for a while now, and normally this is the point where shit goes wrong and I'm a lone survivor looking for a change of scenery. So, this might seem like it's coming out of nowhere, but could you use someone like me in one of your settlements?
Of course. Let's do it.
Glad to hear you say that. I'll sleep easier once I'm in a new place, I think. I'll talk to Fiona as soon as I'm back to make my way to... where you want me?
Where should we put her? You know what? We're gonna need a doctor at the castle. They're gonna be under some stress soon. Head on over. Thanks, Cersei. Appreciate you. Okay. Alright, we have convinced Lydia that we know what we're doing, thanks to the red dress. No one can resist the red dress. Alright, but now we gotta remember all of our gear. I really need to get one of those gear swapping setups you guys mentioned. One of these times I'm actually gonna do it. Alright, but for now... Wait, hold on. Let's figure out which one. We're not gonna use automatic. Let's just drop this. I don't want to accidentally keep equipping it. Now, that might be a good thing for me. An auto stim might be right up my alley. Let's see. Where's our other things? Is this the chest piece we're using? That is quite the good chest piece. Left leg. I'm gonna drop all the ones I'm not using so that I stop having to fiddle with this every time. Alright, so we've got... While not moving and standing still. No, we're not gonna use that. Bats reduction sounds really good. What was our other option? Bolstering. Yeah, buy bolstering. I could use bolstering, but I guess you... Oh, you guys said that the legendary effects... Okay, before... The legendary effects do not go into play when you're using power armor. That's correct, right? Or do they stack? Do the legendary effects work? I know the armor rating doesn't, but do the legendary effects work? Because if not, that's like a good reason never to use power armor. Because there's not very much legendary power armor, is there? Not in PA. So the legendary effects are just completely gone? That makes power armor so bad. Or so much less fun, at least. Ugh, that's so bad. Maybe we're gonna bail on power armor. I love my legendary effects. That's half the reason that I don't do crafting generally, because I love the getting random legendaries and having to work with those. Legendary effects with paint jobs. Yeah, not the same thing though. PA eats at your cores if you want to use VATS too. Annoying. That explains why there's so many power armor overall mods out there. Reginald's suit is +3 charisma. Where do I get that? Who has Reginald? Where's Reginald's suit? Although I don't know. I don't think we can replace the dress though. I mean, it's like fundamental to this playthrough now. It's got history. Your stats for max doesn't really matter. Yeah, I guess. Legendary T60 pieces in the BOS quest line. Max on my charisma stat, but then I couldn't max out all my other abilities. I like having the gear swapped mid-conversation. It's more entertaining. Okay, so we immediately started the next quest. You know what? We'll actually... Yeah, I guess we will do that before we do moving day, because that leads nicely into... Because the HQ quest will lead me to this anyway, so it actually works out nice to have that done in advance. So we will continue with the Nightingales. Maybe that's what I think we can finish... The Angel Mercy quest, I think, is pretty quick. It's mostly dialogue, so I bet we can actually finish that tonight. I am against level caps. I think level caps are lame. I don't mind soft capping. Like, I don't mind the, like, making it, you know, exponentially harder to get level ups, but I don't think you should ever level cap. I think that's just, like, that's part of the fun with, especially in the Bethesda-style RPG of just making yourself get into this god mode of you can just continuously level up. I think that's a lot of fun. I think the level cap is, like, I don't know. It's setting some sort of idea that your character can't continue to grow, or that you have to sacrifice things to grow, which I don't know, kind of goes against the power fantasy. It's a reward for completing Curtain Call, the Surveyor's variant. Where is that? I've never even heard of. I don't know what that is. Is that something in Far Harbor or something? Unlocking Strong as a companion. Ah, got it, okay. Well, again, that's the +3 charisma sounds amazing, but giving up the red dress does not. Well, everyone looks forward to it. Every time I say the word red dress, everybody gets a little excited. I mean, some of you don't. Some of you are probably like, "Hey, now this is getting weird."
I thought we had
This
agreed
isn't what
to
I signed
wait
up for.
until the
But I
diagnostic
think
scanner
if I
was
did a poll right
operational.
now,
I agreed to
red
put
dress
off
versus original
treatment
suit, I
until
think
tomorrow.
red dress
Why would I
wins
put
by a
any stock
landslide.
in those machines when I already have the diagnosis in front of me? Clear as day.
The machine is not the important part. You can't simply take matters into your own hands when things are moving too slow. If you'd waited...
You're eager to lay blame at my feet, Fiona. I said I would hold off on treating this man, and I did not lie to you about my intent.
So did you try to treat him or not? Please, Cassandra, without playing coy. This is important.
Look at the injection site. After all these years, I should hope I have a steadier hand than that. Unless you also wish to accuse me of becoming old and rickety.
I didn't mean... Wait, Cassandra... Damn it.
Yeah, I mean, I think letting the red dress be worn by male and female characters was partially done just for the comedy of it, because Nate looks so ridiculous in it.
Hi.
That went poorly. I can't say she's entirely wrong to be upset with
and
me.
I forgot my Volt suit. We're going to talk
can't
to
exactly
Fiona
rule her out, but
in
if she didn't do it,
That's fine. It's fine.
Someone else had to have.
If we get a perk check, we'll back out. Excuse me while I put on my suit or my dress.
What happened? Why are you upset?
I found this patient dead an hour ago. When we picked him up off the streets, he was sluggish but aggressive. Raider from a nearby gang, I think. We weren't sure what was wrong with him. Cassandra guessed it might be rabies and developed a cure. I asked her to hold off on it.
What do you think of her?
My first thought was that she simply got tired of waiting. You heard her, she doesn't respect the pre-war tech anyway. If she thought a patient would slip away waiting, she could have taken matters into her own hands. But it just doesn't feel right. I've known her for so long. We have our differences, but I've never known her to not own up to her mistakes. It's just not how we do things here. But if it wasn't her or wasn't her vaccine, then someone else killed this patient. And it's even worse.
Oh, I'm sure somebody already has done a slutty version of the red dress that goes even more hardcore, like a big leg slit or something. You can count on the Bethesda modding community. Somebody is all about that. That's like those are usually the first mods. Like, as soon as Outfit Studio comes on, somebody's out there taking care of the needs of the Lovers Lab.
I'd be glad to help if I can.
Have any advice on what I should investigate?
I'm not sure.
Many
There's gotta be
times it's been
something
done,
around,
yeah.
right? Or maybe someone saw something. It'd be nice to know exactly what killed him. Maybe it'd narrow it down. It's a shame the diagnostic machine went down again.
Yeah? Why is that?
It keeps coming online and then going on the fritz again. I'm not much of a mechanic, but I wanted to time the on window to diagnose the patient. It's supposed to be able to scan samples and even image the organs, though I wouldn't do anything that put someone at risk of electrocution. I just got it working again right before I found him dead. I hadn't been out of the room an hour. We could have used it to figure out what killed him at least. But it powered down again and I don't know how to fix it this time.
Have any ideas?
I think it'd be a good idea for you to talk to Cassandra. She likes you. Maybe she'll stop evading questions long enough to get the truth out. We don't exactly have quick ways of conducting forensics besides the machines in the diagnostic wing, and they're unreliable.
I'll get right on it.
Thanks. I'll try talking to some of the others too. Come back to me if you find anything.
Okay. Let's find some stuff here. Let's see. Not the bone saw. Oh, we will take a stim pack. You guys don't mind me. Empty syringe. I'll perform a detailed analysis. There are old injection site scars, new injection sites done in the past couple of days that are sealed and disinfected, and a prominent injection site that is inflamed and bruised. And we'll take a blood sample. You fill a vial of blood. Working dyes and oxygen sheet would be handy. All right. Let's go do that first before we talk to Cassandra. I feel like you want to have all the environmental info before you talk to people for maximum options. Before we resort to the red dress, let's see if we can just solve this with science. First, I gotta find my way around. All right, the machine is upstairs, I believe. That's where Fiona was the last time we talked to her. Now, has Starfield gotten the LL treatment? I feel like everything has been so slow in the Starfield modding scene because some of the core tool developers didn't get into it. Like the Xedit, you know, it works kind of. There's some major features missing, especially with the stuff called reflection data. Outfit Studio never got a full update. Nifscope, fortunately, got an update because of Fallout 76, and Starfield happens to use a similar NIF format, so we're able to do Starfield edits with that. But Outfit Studio never got the full upgrade treatment, so I think the Lovers Lab the Lovers Lab type mods like the outfit kit bashes and Sludification are a little slower with Starfield. All right, what do we got here? John Doe rabies. Diagnostics machine. Just wing it. You got this. I'm liking that one. You start mashing buttons, flipping switches, and pulling wires. After countless sparks, multiple burns, and a soot-covered face, the machine roars to life. Oh yeah. We can just take the high-powered magnets. Okay, but then, do we use the machine here? Oh, maybe I gotta go talk to... I thought we got to use the machine. I wonder if this is a bug. I could have sworn there was supposed to be an interactive thing where you, like, use the machine. Hold on, let's try activating again. Oh, yeah, okay, there we go. You have to activate it again. Examine the drawn blood sample. Let's see. Sample contains a mutated virus strand. A more thorough organ image of the live subject is required for conclusive diagnosis. Please prepare the patient with appropriate tracer isotope. Okay. Isotopic tracer detected. No anomalies reported. Subject is deceased. Thanks, diagnostic machine. Okay, so now we know about the radio, about the isotope, and we know that the body was injected with it. So that should be what we need to get all the conversation options so we can get the quote-unquote best ending. Although actually what would be an interesting test, I should actually do a save here, because the next quest, there's like, we added another quest to the Nightingale quest line after the end of chapter 2 content. During chapter 3, like one of our early patches was this. I believe it's supposed to have outcomes regardless of whether you, of whoever left. So, spoiler alert, depending on how you handle Angel of Mercy, somebody leaves the Nightingales. It can be Raph, Ellis, or Cassandra. Alright, so we're going to go save mid Angel of Mercy. Because I'm not going to do it today. I'm going to do the good ending. But I'm going to come back at some point and do the Raph leaves ending and see how that plays out with the next quest.
Back again. I don't blame
I still
Fiona
forgot
for
to put
jumping
my
to
pants on.
conclusions.
Whoops.
I'm sure she's already
This is
feeling
just how we
guilty
play
enough.
now.
What's this all about?
Finding an empty syringe in a hospital is not surprising. What's more telling is that I'd prepared 2 doses of a vaccine and one is missing. 2 points that are not mutually exclusive, but do make for a curious coincidence. Here's the other dose, in case you get the machines working.
Rabies vaccine edit. Okay, cool. So we can go back and scan that. All right.
Can I ask you some questions?
By all means. It just so happens that
Lovers
my
Lab only
current
has
and
23
only
mods for
patient
Starfield. That's
is no longer in need
the
of
rookie
treatment.
numbers.
For the time being, I'm all yours.
What do you know about him?
Male, mid-30s. Unfortunate dental situation. Multiple track marks from a lifetime of chem use. That is, if you can find them beneath the sea of battle scars. Overall, in worse shape than our Raphael, but otherwise typical for a raider. As far as his disease, my best diagnosis was rabies. I had previously created a vaccine for this particular strain of rabies. If my assumption had been correct, and Fiona had let me treat the man, he would have seen immediate improvement. Alas.
What's in the shot?
A question with an answer I'm certain you would find unsatisfactory. You see, viruses have mutated since the bombs fell. So has the flora and fauna. Even the human immune system has adapted in odd ways. That said, the ingredients list for modern vaccines have become so incredibly long, it churns even my stomach. So, what's in the shot? More than you'd care to know. It works. That's the important part.
I just need you to tell me the truth. Do you know anything about it?
The truth is rather a subjective thing.
That's vague.
For the Nightingales to function, we have to trust each other. I would never do anything to jeopardize that trust. I have my suspicions, but they're just that, suspicions. If you want to know the truth, that's something you must find for yourself.
I don't have any more questions.
Rude.
Have any advice on what I should investigate?
A murder suspect giving advice to the investigator. Now that has a nice irony to it, but I'll take it as a good sign. If you have the time, you can look through my books on pathology. That is, if you were doubting my diagnosis and have the aptitude for it, of course. If you've any technical skill, perhaps you could try repairing the diagnostic scanner.
Oh, that's right, we recovered the books.
And lastly,
because we were headstrong back.
I would advise that you consider why someone might do this, and what might happen to them should Fiona find them out.
That's all for now.
Okay, we gotta get our vault suit back on. Let's see, apparel. There we go. All right, let's check the books. Medic Singe diagnosis of rabies is confirmed. Okay. Now, does that take away my objective to do the machine? Yeah. So it's one or the other. You don't have to do both. Okay. Cool. So now we know that. Okay. Now let's not go back to Fiona because there's one little thing. You can go talk. I believe you can do it right now. You can talk to Ellis and Raph first. If I can find them. Where are you guys hiding? Where are you guys? Water around here somewhere. Not in here. And while we're wandering around, we might as well stock up on stim packs. Lord knows I ripped through them fast enough. Uh-oh. Somebody knocked down the body. Oh, that's so funny. Raider corpse activate. That is one of those, like, that's just a physics bug. Nothing I can do about that. This is kind of funny. This is actually probably a bug. That's probably supposed to be cleaned up. I'm going to click on it and see what happens. Let's see here. If we click on this, I'm going to scroll through. All right, we're going to try and hit disable. Let's see what it does. Nope, it doesn't work. Okay. So this stuff was never, this is a bug in the sense that this was probably meant to be cleaned up and we just forgot to do it. So, yeah, we can do that. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna print screen this and write it down for myself. Whoa, uh-oh. Where'd the game go? Did we break it? Did we crash it? Nope, there it is. Okay, all right, I'm gonna write myself a note to do this after stream, or rather, not after stream, up tomorrow because I need to go to bed soon. Let's see here. So Nightingale Hospital has trash that didn't get disabled. It also might, maybe it happens later. Maybe I'm jumping the gun because we have several stages of the hospital. But this stuff looks like it was on fire, so I think at this point it should be disabled. So I'm going to do this. We're going to go prid 14, get POS X, get POS Y, get POS Z, and that will tell me the coordinates. Okay, there we go. Jason Locrans, thanks for the stream. Thank you for the donation. You're welcome. Welcome to, because I don't know if you have, I haven't seen you in chat, so I'm assuming this is your appearance. You're coming in right as I'm getting ready to wrap up for the night. We're just going to finish up Angel of Mercy here. So X is 1205, Y is 272, Z is negative 2175. Because I do want to, I think it would make, like, this was clearly like meant to be like embers and stuff, which doesn't make any sense for that still to be going on. So very minor, but that's what we're doing right now, right? We're being pedantic, fixing little tiny stupid issues. All right, where the hell are Raph and Ellis hanging out? Or maybe they're hidden away intentionally. Maybe I don't talk to them until after this point. I could have sworn though you could just go talk to them at this point. Are they upstairs maybe? I could have sworn I saw a bobblehead in the corner of my eye there for some reason. Oh, here they are. That's right. They're part of this.
Did she seem angry at all, agitated, or distracted?
Been a while since I played this.
No, she seemed normal. Maybe a little stressed.
Ellis, I know she's been your mentor for a while now, but believe me, I don't want her to be guilty any more than you. If you can think of anything...
I know, but maybe...
Oh, enough of this. Lay off Fiona. I killed the rabbit asshole. Didn't think you'd get so twisted up about it.
Raphael, that's not funny.
I ain't laughing, am I?
He was killed with an injection. That's not exactly your style.
What, after months of watching all of you think I can't find a vein? You were off playing with the new toys.
Oh no, he's got the face
Cassie
bug.
Was sulking.
The flicker jaw.
And the rabid dog?
Base game issue.
He was about to chew through the straps. Hell, far as I could tell, he'd have chewed off his own damn arm just to get at us. Cure was sitting all ready. Either he'd croak or he'd get better. Win-win. So I did my job and took the fucking guesswork out of it.
Leave the room, please. I have to think about this.
Fiona.
You too, Ellis. I need to talk to our friend here before I make any decisions.
Come on, kid. Let's give these two some space.
Writing down an issue. That raft thing. So we found out that there's a couple of mouths in the base game. Jake and Aiden both have this problem, and Salvador had it for a while. I think we fixed Salvador, but where certain mouth types that we use very commonly don't work correctly with facial hair, which is again base game bug, but it causes all sorts of weird issues.
What a load of crap.
Why don't you believe his story?
I know Raphael. If he'd killed that patient, it would have been with a knife, not a syringe. And he definitely wouldn't have bothered lying about it. And all that stuff he said about having a chance of curing the patient? No way.
You sure about this?
Raphael cares about us, the Nightingales. He only cares about the patients as far as making sure they're not a threat to us. A cured and healthy raider is no better than a sick one to him. Maybe even worse.
There's more to this story.
Could you talk to him? If he's the only one confessing and we don't have the full picture, then I'll have no choice but to... I don't even know. I've sent volunteers away before for breaking our rules. I can't even think of doing the same to him. But if he really killed that man, I couldn't trust him around patients ever again. Much as it breaks my heart.
Okay. The XMR for you, it was King. That was like, yeah, that was intentional. I just needed like a rough idea of where it was, so I could find it. Find that pile of clutter. Okay, so it looks like I'm gonna go downstairs now. Alright, let's talk to Ellis too.
Hey.
Nothing? That's odd. I guess I gotta talk to Raph first. But this is like I'm gonna write this down as a bug. Like, I hate, this is just like a pet peeve of mine when NPCs don't have like at least a, hey, how's it going? You know, just a greeting. Ellis lacks greeting when the RAF object is up during NQ05. That's the code name we have internally for that quest, for this quest. Face Gen seems to fix that bug. Rusty Face 2, I think, sorted it right out when I started using the XL mod.
She make up her mind or what?
I don't buy your whole story.
Shit. If you're not buying it, means Fiona isn't gonna settle on it either. Can't say you weren't decent to me. Hell, I'd even call you a friend. Last thing I thought I'd ever say about someone like you. That's the problem with you, and Fee, Cassie, Alice. All so bent on giving me more credit than I wouldn't lay a finger on the guy unless asked. Not that they ask much. They like the whole merciful end thing, and I'm more old-fashioned. I did kill him, though. Didn't lie about that. Better it be me that does it.
Sounds like you're protecting someone.
That's all I ever tried to do around here. Look, Ellis, when he stops flinching at every sound, he's a good kid. Sharp. Naive, but he tries, you know? Out of the two of us, he belongs here. He was probably trying to do the right thing, but that cure came with a coin flip. So, I stepped in so he wouldn't have to.
Did something happen to him?
Yeah. Ellis found his backbone. I saw him go into that room, all pale and shaking like a leaf. Jumped out of his skin when I followed him in. I think he might have actually gone through with it. Didn't know he had it in him. But Fiona ever finds out he pulled something like that, closest he'd get to patients is cleaning their bedpans. If she didn't just send him back to his parents in Diamond City. It'd be a fucking waste.
You care, Raph. We knew it. The burn pile is vanilla. I just saw that message connect. Yeah, it's but this is our cloned cell, so we can modify things. And I think it's after, it might be like after chapter 2 that we start, like there's stages to this hospital where things start changing. Captain Laserbeam did a whole bunch of work on that so that you can see the hospital evolve over time, and it has different evolving if you accept the deal with NLTC, because you have more caps is the idea. So but some of that cleanup stuff could happen at different phases. I think it does happen later, or maybe we forgot. I'm not sure, but I want to just check on it because it does look like I can just disable the stuff manually from console, which is a good sign that it's not rigged up to be bulk disabled. So I think it is something it was just an oversight, that chunk.
What did you do?
I told him to get out, and I handled it. It didn't look like Cassie did it, but she can stand up for herself. Doesn't need me playing White Knight. Ellis, though. You heard him when Fiona put the pressure on. Another minute, and he was gonna say something stupid.
Oh, if only I had the red dress.
Why do you care?
For once, can you mind your own damn business? I said all I wanted.
You did what you felt was right. That's what matters.
Doesn't matter. Still killed someone. And if I hadn't, Ellis would have. If it was even us that did it. Never known Cassie to fuck up the meds before. The dead guy isn't the point, though. Fiona is waiting to hear who went behind her back and broke trust. So just leave the kid out of it.
Okay, let's go talk to Ellis now.
He told you, right?
He's got like the shakes from the animations.
I really had no idea he'd step up like that. I shouldn't have gone into that room.
What happened?
Cassandra said the patient he only had a couple of hours before the treatment wouldn't matter anymore, and the diagnostic machine broke again. I didn't like the man, but I couldn't just watch him die like that. So after Fiona came by to prep him for the procedure again,
What procedure is that?
For the scanner. I don't know the details, but it requires some injections. Fiona's gone in and out of the room all day getting him ready.
I'm sure you had good intentions.
I did. Cassandra is brilliant. I really thought the vaccine would work. Except, I guess I wasn't really thinking at all, was I? You should tell her I did it. I could live with the man's death, but not with Raphael getting in trouble just for protecting me.
Does she take care of people that break the rules?
There's not any official rules, really. But this... I don't think this is a warning offense. She's probably going to send me back home.
This better be the last time you screw up.
Trust me, it will be.
Okay. So here's where you get the choice. Like, you get to make the choice, choose somebody's fate here. So I think most of you figured out with the investigation, you can kind of indirectly blame Cassandra. But if we do Actually, we're going to overwrite mid Angel of Mercy, because this is the actual point where I wanted to be able to roll back and try the other options.
Everything all right?
Hey there.
Hey, are you done with investigating? What do you think happened? Was it really Raphael? I still find that so hard to believe.
So here you can blame Ellis or blame Raph. So whoever you blame will get sent out. I actually don't remember what happens with them, like if they just get disabled or if Ellis like actually goes and wanders around Diamond City. That's what we should make happen. So that'll be one of those things like I'll come back here and try them out. I'm not gonna do it right this second because I'm wrapping up for the night, but that would be interesting to see if we actually set that up. And if not, I could do that. I could set it up so he just kind of wanders Diamond City. But the problem with that would be that I don't think we ever established a home for him, because this is one of those endings we didn't assume. A lot of people like, who's going to blame Ellis after all that? But when you do no one's fault, which is I think what most of you do, then you get the what we call the good ending, which is where Cassandra says she's going to leave, and since you recruit her for HQ anyway, everyone wins.
Took one chem too many.
Ah, that's right. I see.
That's right, what? Do you two know something?
Fiona, the diagnostic machine requires a certain preparation procedure before scanning the internal organs, correct?
That's right. It needs a radioactive tracer injected into the bloodstream in order to... Oh.
A pre-war radioactive tracer, I'd assume. One that carries the risk of mutating the virus further, amongst all other possible complications.
Where is my head? But I tested it on a blood sample first. I had no idea he'd receive the vaccine immediately after I prepped him.
Of course. And that's exactly why I believe it's time for me to leave my position here.
Leave? Cassandra, even if you injected him, there's no need for such dramatics. We can sort this out.
I'm not storming out in a huff, my dear. It's time we face the simple truth in front of us. My vaccine could have saved the man's life, and you weren't wrong in waiting to diagnose him conclusively before acting. Yet for all our good intentions, he's dead.
You're saying we have too many cooks in the kitchen. Any other day I would argue, but after this incident, I think you may be right. To be clear, did you inject him with your vaccine?
Does it matter who did what? The man won't get any livelier.
I'll take that as a yes.
Okay, now what is Fiona going to do here? Because we didn't get a quest update. I can't remember if she goes and talks to... No, it's just the end, so we can talk to Cassandra.
Hey.
Hello.
I realize
what's the matter?
Can come off a bit standoffish, but he deserves a... Hello there.
Excuse me.
Wonderful to see you.
Nope. Okay, let's see. Let's hold on. So here's like, this is more of that.
Cassandra left me a huge booklet of her notes. I never knew she dissected a death claw before. No problem. It's really all up to standard.
So this would have been a good. It would have been a good moment to have like a follow-up conversation with each of them, right? To be like, you know, what did they think about the results? I think that could have been a nice little touch. But this is stuff a lot of times.
Everything all right?
You know, by the time we're into development stuff and we're pushing to get this stuff out, by the time we have even thought to do this stuff, to go back and play through it, it's like, oh, well, that ship has sailed. So it's good to know for next time. Like, next time we design quests and stuff, I keep that in mind of like, oh, yeah, we got to always remember to have, especially when it's the end of a quest line. So, like, we ended up adding a 6th quest to Nightingales, but we didn't know we were going to do that originally. It was like a bonus thing because everybody, we all loved the characters internally, and we knew that a lot of people reacted positively to them. So we added that additional quest. But, yeah, during development, I think it was just an oversight. But could have been a nice little touch. That's all right. All right, let's do this last perk here. Do we have? All right, I think. Although now my plan to get power armor feels way less good. I mean, I'm probably gonna grab this anyway. Then once in a while we can use Pain Train for fun, and having max strength, never a bad thing when you want to carry all the junk, which you guys know I do. So. All right, well, that's a good place to stop for the night. We didn't get to fix too many bugs. We fixed a minor one, and I wrote down some others. But yeah, we're making slow and steady progress. So thank you guys for joining me. I should be back Sunday with some more Skyrim. So I will catch you guys next time.